probably the most noticeable silent time for God in my prayer life was for about 8 years when I was teaching in a very difficult situation with I want to say this kindly, with a very unreasonable principal. She was not only unreasonable with me, but with pretty much everyone on staff. There had been complaints made about her conduct in front of children, and none of that was working. I was on a prayer team from my church, and we started to pray. We prayed for everything. We prayed for God to change her heart. We prayed for her to be less critical of teachers in front of children. We prayed for the whole range of things that she was doing. God was silent during that whole time. We prayed for her, and I was in that situation for 8 years. During the time of us praying for her in a group, I was also praying for her individually every day at school. Before I went into my classroom, I always prayed for my classroom, but then I started praying for her specifically, for God to just give her some grace and some kind of empathy for us as teachers in a difficult teaching situation. I never heard anything in my spirit that told me that God was really tuning in, but I kept praying anyway. Eventually, the lady was moved. The principal was moved. Not only was she moved, but her position was taken from her, and she was put in another position about 8.5 years in. At the end of that time, in the weeks before she left, I got bombarded with the clarity of the whole situation. And it had not been about her and us. It had been about an enemy attack against the work that was trying to be done for students who really, this was their last shot. The school that I was in, if they couldn't make it there, they could not go back to their home schools. So I learned that sometimes when God is not talking to you, it's not because he's not working. It's just because you don't need to really know what he's doing. You just have to trust him. The school now is great. I check in with them every now and then. I actually retired from that school. And about praying for, I consider this lady to be my enemy. And about praying for your enemy, it is real. If you do it, eventually I had empathy for her. I was so sorry for her, for the position that she had put herself in. And so I learned a lot during that time, even though I didn't hear from God on a regular basis.